I told Didi, I will never listen to a person tell me about leadership who is not paying people. I will never listen to somebody tell me about leadership who not paying people's insurance. I will never listen to nobody talk to me about leadership who've not set people up for 401k. I will not listen to people who have not, for the 15 years, made sure people get their check.
Dog, come on.
You ready? All right.
And that's why it's dangerous when you go back, because when you go back, not only are you back and you're not useful, you're back and the people that are forward, y'all at odds now.
Oh, for sure.
You feel me? Like you at odds with forward-thinking people. You feel what I'm saying? So now, if I'm in the room with the three of y'all and I'm like you just said 360. If you were backwards thinking, it would have just been like, oh, I didn't get 360, I'm out. But because you're forward thinking, you thinking, yo, how do I reinstate my status?
Yep.
Well, you in the room with somebody that has, that relationships is my thing. So I got red coats that I know there.
That's when relationships be beating me. You know what I'm
Oh, no
saying?
question.
I can't
no
call
question.
nobody.
But that's my job, though. That's my
Like,
job
who
in
is
the
this?
crew, is to make sure that I keep.
Yeah, of course.
So I thought, Lloyd came to church. Like, we went from chopping it up at the Sky Club to now Lloyd coming to church and him hit me on my phone and we just kicking it. So because you're not backwards, you're forward, now you can use my forward for your forward. Same thing with Maul. I was backwards with houses. I was backwards with real estate.
Yeah.
I was backwards thinking because I was talking to backwards people when it comes to that. So then when I get with Maul, it didn't work when I first got with Maul, because even though I was with Maul, I was backwards thinking, so I couldn't enjoy the forward thinker. Does that make sense? Like, I couldn't
100%.
enjoy that. So not only are you backwards and backwards thinking, hurting yourself, but you're not even able to tap into the environment that you're in because you're backwards.
And I'm going to make it super simple. When you're driving and you look to the right, what happens?
You veer to the right.
When you look to the left, what happens?
Yeah, you veer
So
to the left.
It's not just backward that's the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
It's not just backward. If it's not forward, it's a problem.
Period.
Yeah, that's
You get what
good.
I'm saying?
Yeah, if it's wrong forward.
Bruh, you could be going this way. And I'm talking about if you just, and that's what's so deep about your senses. If you just look, your
That's a fact.
body
Yeah, that's
now
a fact.
follows where you're going. You see what I'm saying?
Wherever
If
you
you
look,
just look.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm saying,
promise.
be careful with that, because
Yeah.
any other direction is not where you're trying to go.
So to C's point, oh, my bad, Ma. Yeah.
You want to?
No, go for it.
All right. Everybody's saying what they hear.
Yeah.
So when I hear you saying forward and when I hear you saying backwards, it's so crazy. When I hear you saying backwards, I'm hearing subtraction. When I'm hearing you say forward, I'm not just hearing addition, I'm hearing compounding interest, right? And I think people don't really understand how things compound. Bruh, if you take $75,000 and you put it into an interest-bearing account at 10% for 75 years without adding another dollar to that $75,000, how much you think you get?
What's the number again?
If you took $75,000,
I'm not good at
put it
that.
in
I'm
an
not gonna
interest-bearing account that
How much?
compounds at a 10% rate.
Yeah, 10%.
How much do you think you'll have in 75 years without adding another dollar to it?
I'd say 100 million.
Man, that's pretty good. You'll have
Come on, Doc.
95 million.
That's how you know he got some real paper.
300.
Come on, E.
No,
He was like, I did the
Come
math.
on, E.
That's because he's a forward
Yeah.
thinker. You had, listen, $95,392,125.85.
I wanted to go closer to 90, but I didn't know what it was. So I
But do
just-
you see what compounding
Yeah, that's
do?
it.
That's without adding
Yeah.
nothing else to it.
Yeah.
That's what compounds. So if your money compounds, then what happens in your life? There's a compounding when you move forward.
Yeah.
There's things that compound in your life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where people just think that, like, oh man, that person is just blessed. Man, E, how's it that? And they call you lucky after a while.
Yeah.
They just say, man, E is just lucky. Man, he just always saying like he just get the breaks.
Yeah.
No, what you see is a person that's, because he's moving forward, things in his life has been compounding. Things in our life have been compounding. But when you go backwards,
Yeah.
you got to think about it. If moving forward compounds,
Yes.
then moving backwards.
It's compounds too. But
In a negative way, though.
But this is what I was trying to tell them. I promise you, the middle class person or the good person suffers the most.
Mm-hmm.
They suffer the most, bruh. So what happens when you're in poverty, Maul, and mentally, Maul, you have settled into it. You like, I'm on welfare. I ain't trying to ever make no bread. I'm not ever trying to do
middle
nothing.
class or
No, poverty.
Poverty.
So like, I'm never trying to do nothing different. Bruh, I promise you, I don't want to say no names. Bruh, they don't have no stress, bruh.
No stress.
They don't have none, Maul. Bruh, there are people who work certain jobs. I promise you, you might look at them like, why you doing this or why you doing that? They settled in it. It is the person who is in the middle who the Bible says lukewarm. And by lukewarm, it's sometimes you hot, sometimes you cold. So what I was trying to tell them is everybody in that room.
Wait, hold on. Keep your thought.
Yeah.
Lukewarm is sometimes you hot, sometimes you cold.
Yeah, that's what lukewarm is. Lukewarm is not a, how do I say
I'm saying, think about the temperature of a faucet.
Yeah.
I'm thinking lukewarm is when you put it in the middle.
In the middle.
You're saying it's a combination of being super hot
and cold. There's no such
different.
There's no water.
Yeah, I hear you. I
Yeah,
never
that's what
thought
I'm
about
saying.
it like that.
Right,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
But watch this though. There's no temperature lukewarm. There's no temperature lukewarm. It's hot, it's cold.
No, I'm saying what's deep. Don't lose this. What's deep is it's a combination of hot and cold.
That's what
like it's
it
the
is.
average of hot and
That's
cold.
what it is.
That's really what it is. So you're right. It is hottish and it's coldish.
That's
I
all
never
it
thought
is.
about
Average,
it like
me
that. I always
either.
think about, even from the biblical perspective, like lukewarm just mean like you just kind of
Room
like
temperature.
laissez-faire.
But he says it in there though.
He like, no. Sometimes you hot.
Yeah, but that's
Sometimes
what he
cold.
says in
Average of
there.
that.
He uses hot and cold.
Ooh.
That's what he's saying. He's saying you're neither hot nor cold.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you hot, sometimes you cold.
Yeah.
And that's the worst state. So when I see those people in the room, I'm like, oh, everybody in this room wants something.
Yeah.
What God showed me, Maul, is what's wrong with this group is you go forward, then you go backwards.
Yep.
And the reason why you go forwards and backwards is because the environment you're in.
Yeah.
That's what I said in the beginning. I don't mean no harm to nobody. There are just certain people I don't entertain anymore, or I control the conversation because you're taking me back. You're literally making me question going forward. You're making me, I don't have no problems with forward.
Yeah.
But because I love you and I love our relationship, you're questioning me about, so that's why when you was like, man, you having those kind of conversations with your mom? Yes. Not because I don't love my mom, because my mom keep talking about going forward.
Yeah.
Like every time you hear, I want to do my book and I want to speak and I want to, so I got to stop my mom because I'm like, yo, you can't tell me you want to do this, but then we're having conversations about how much something costs.
Yeah.
We can't have these conversations because you're taking me back. So I'm in this room and God is telling me, hey, tell all these people, your problem is you coming forward, you're in the $365,000 program, or you're in the $10,000, or you're in Make Real Estate Real, or you're in, Past Potential. You're in all of these programs. And if you would stay in these programs, you would blow up. But you're going backwards. That's what God told me to tell him. So you're doing all of this on these calls, you're listening to Maul, but then when you get off with Maul, you got one Maul in your life that could take you to the promised land. But you have 4 people in your life that's questioning what Maul told you. And you're entertaining those 4 people.
I got this text at 8:28. It is now 9:06. We're recording. It's not live, y'all. I'm sorry. I know some of y'all think it's live, but it says, so about 30 minutes ago. So I got
Welcome to 360.
360.
I didn't know.
So I got to share this. I made more money in the first 5 days of 2024 than I did in business all of 2022. Right? And this is somebody that's in the mastermind. This is somebody that's been a part of Moving Past Potential. I'm just saying, your point. This person's just saying like, yo, in the first 5 days of the year, I made more money than I did the whole year before. And that's what I'm talking about. When you get in the environment, I'm thinking like, wow, like ain't nothing changing you like that. You the same person in the right environment, and now your whole year just got shrinked into 5 days.
And so Maul, I'm just going to another level, and I want you to teach this as well, because I often ask myself, why are there some people in your environment that blow up, and other people like, well, I don't know, it didn't work for me. And it didn't work because one group is in your program solo, only.
Yeah.
You feel me? Solo, only, singular. Other people in your program, but then when they come out of your program, they're going to other people and people are having these conversations with them. So that's the one area where I felt like I grew that really took me to another level financially and in every way is I stopped entertaining people that were not the people who had experienced the success I wanted to experience.
Yeah.
So no disrespect, but my wife was telling me the other day, and I was like, "Yo, Didi, you a beast." I said, "But I'm gonna challenge you in 2024 in ways I've never challenged you before, because you are an A student."
Careful.
Yeah, I told you you're an A student. But one of the things that I saw Didi do that I thought was weird is Didi reads comments. I thought that was weird. So Didi would sometimes be to me like, "So and so said," and I was like, "Yo, D, in 2024, do me a favor. Stop reading comments and stop telling me what people say who are." I told Didi, I will never listen to a person tell me about leadership who is not paying people. I will never listen to somebody tell me about leadership who not paying people's insurance. I will never listen to nobody talk to me about leadership who've not set people up for a 401k. I will not listen to people who have not, for the 15 years, made sure people get their check.
Oh, come on.
Bro,
Listen
I'm not
to people
interested.
who ain't never did nothing for nobody outside of their doggone self.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, and I told my wife, please listen to me, sweetheart. I'm not mad at their perspective.
Yeah.
They are entitled to their perspective, but you're talking from like floor 2. I'm on floor 40.
Yeah.
You are looking at the trees on the property.
They talking from coach.
You talking from coach, bro.
Right. They experience totally different.
Ma, I'm telling you the truth, Ma. I've been to Vegas.
Yeah.
I've been in a hotel. Shout out to my boy Rob. I've been in Palazzo. I've been on the bottom floor with a dope room that you can walk out the dope room into the pool area to everything. Dope. But the view is not the view on the 40th floor. It's a dope, bro. So he got me a dope room. Most people don't even know this room exists. It's dope. But you cannot see Vegas from it.
Yeah.
All you can see is the Palazzo swimming area. That's it. People in the swimming pool, the food, you can order the food. The 40th floor, at night, you can see the strip in a way. So I told my wife, don't get it twisted. This ain't no negativity.
Yeah.
I'm just not listening to people who on the first floor tell me how to run the 40th floor. You not on it. So your first floor experience is phenomenal. Enjoy it. But you can't teach me about the 40th. Now, if you're on the 40th, you might be in a different room with a different angle, or you're on the 41st, you're on the 42nd. So for me, for those of you listening, I just want you to hear something. I could have been more successful, but I have spent the majority of my life worried about what the people on the first floor are saying instead of enjoying the 40th floor and then engaging with people who are on the 44th floor. And you know what? When I do that, I have more to give to the people on the first floor than I do when I'm on the first floor talking first floor stuff. So when my mom comes to me, I just tell my mom, hey, here's the conversations we need to have, period. Don't talk to me about this because what you're doing, not in a disrespectful manner, but you're talking opinion, which first of all, ain't about to do nothing ain't about to change nothing in my life. You're talking opinions. And here's the crazy part.
You don't think it's facts for them?
Bruh, no, it's not facts. It ain't even facts for them.
For them.
No,
It's
it's
their
not for
fact.
them.
It's their reality.
It's not for my mom because my mom wants to have a New York Times bestseller. My mom want to be on the stage changing. Oh, so for that person who cold, it's great for them. The person who's hot is great for them, but the person that's lukewarm, that's trying to get to hot, is not good for them. So for me, I'm just trying to tell y'all who are listening my growth. Stop listening to people on the first floor when you live on the 40th floor. That's number one. Redirect the people who are on floor 10 who want to get to 40. So I said this, and I'll say it again on the podcast and be transparent. I'm at my mom's crib for the holidays. somebody says, well, we don't got Eric Thomas money. So something I said, like we should do X, Y, and Z.
Join the club.
Yeah.
Right. It's a lot of us.
They's like, you should do X, Y, and Z. And I said,
back in the day, it used to be a joke, but now it's real.
Oh, bro.
no.
You know how people say that? If I had your money,
Yeah,
it's
no,
really true.
Yeah, no.
So
That's what you know.
I'm waiting on the line. Keep going.
yeah. So I said, the old me would shrink. The new me said, you should have my money. Meaning,
That's what you said?
meaning you should be further along than where you are. I can show you the text. I specifically said, I believe there are 5 things that one needs to be an entrepreneur. You naturally have 4. It is the 5th one, which is the mindset you don't have.
Yeah.
And if you're ready to have my money, because we come from the same household, ain't nothing different about where we all come from. We all grew up in the same neighborhood. We all had the same people pouring into us. We all had the same everything in terms of environment. I said, I'm ready to teach you if you're ready to learn. And they said, what's step 1? And so from that time,
Habit stacking.
from that time, it's been. And the first step really though is more getting from around the people who are in the environment that got you to where you are.
You got to do the demo.
Bro,
Hey.
but that's so hard
You
because
got to do the demo.
you have to do the demo.
And it's hard because you're so used to it.
Yeah.
You love it. It's where you come from.
Yeah.
You feel like it's part of your history.
Yeah.
Are you hydrating every day? Well, our friends at Organifi, they believe in hydration with purpose, introducing their superfood powder blends that turn your everyday water into a delicious, nutrient-packed drink. It's like a power boost from nature. One standout is their green juice, a personal favorite of ours for years. Unlike other green juices, it actually tastes great. Imagine enjoying a refreshing drink that's better than plain water and filled with incredible ingredients like chlorella, spirulina, and moringa from around the world. Just 1 scoop a day can make a massive difference for your body. What sets Organifi apart is the clinical dose of the adaptogen ashwagandha, known to balance cortisol levels, your stress hormone. In times of heightened stress, this can be a game changer for your weight, sleep, and your immune system. Organifi sources top quality ingredients from organic farms worldwide, ensuring their products are vegan-friendly, gluten-free, and free of any artificial additives. It's pure nutrition in every sip. All right, so here's the exciting part for you. Because you rock with the Secrets to Success podcast, you can go to Organifi.com/success and explore their collection. And at checkout, make sure you use the promo code SUCCESS for an exclusive 20% discount on all products. Yes, you heard it right. It's VIP treatment just for you. Discover how these superfoods can transform your health journey. Visit Organifi.com/success and use the promo code SUCCESS at checkout and experience it for yourself. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Hydrate with purpose and elevate your well-being with Organifi green juice. Cheers to a healthier you.
But you got to get rid of. You got to
I
clean it out.
laugh, Ma. So you talking about your mom? I laugh at my mom, and she'll probably kill me for sharing this. But my mom gets up here. Y'all know she'll come stay a couple months at a time. And bro, we talking investments. We talking. I'm sharing all the information with her. She get back to Barbados, bro. And it's just like, oh no, we good. You know, your dad and I, we older now, and bro, I could hear the shift in a matter of just weeks. Wow. Once she get back there, it's just like, oh no, this is God has blessed us. This is our life. I'm like, Ma, what happened? Tamisha and I joke. It's like, you know, we can't talk to her like this until she get back here for at least 2 weeks. But we literally see the shift in her. Just being back in Barbados, being in that
that's
environment.
a cultural thing being
100%. Oh, 100%.
What's the environment?
It's the environment.
Yeah, it's the environment. It's just
Ain't nobody thinking like that.
Chilling.
it's the environment.
It's the environment. She just get back and this is what we have. Like for me, I'm like, yo, how come y'all ain't never fix the house and do stuff? They maintain it. Incredible. But I'm like, but it's the same house that I grew up in. Like y'all ain't never did nothing. And again, here, it's like, yeah, we could. She get back there like, yeah, I don't know if me and your dad, like, we don't want to go in debt now. Like, what sense that make? And I was just like,
But that's why it's so important to get out the environment. Remember when we were doing the live, and we had the people on Patreon ask questions, and one lady, she asked me, she said, Ma, I don't have a friend that play in the NFL that live in a mansion. Like, how can I get? And I'm like, man, go get a real estate broker and go visit these properties that's for sale. Like, go walk in it. You ain't gotta have a friend. Go walk in it and feel it. It's gonna do something to you when you get back home. But so that's going up. That's going forward. So when you go forward to stuff that's better than what you have, it stretches your brain in that direction.
Yeah.
But when you go backwards, and it's something that's maybe worse off than what you have, then you start feeling like, oh, I'm good. I'm straight.
What would make us think that you just messed me up, Ma? What would make us think that if you live for another year, you're gonna be in the same place? Think about that for a second. Like, what would make you think that if God give you life for another year, that you can't be double where you are now?
A whole year.
And it is
a whole year.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, just think about it for a second. Like, I'm sitting here with y'all
Absolutely.
now. Okay, God, if you bless me with another year, bro, I'm definitely not gonna only have 2-3 properties. Like, I'm gonna have double that. Like,
I think what people have another year and their body be the same. So if your body the same, if you ain't took that year to change your health, then what make you think you're gonna change your wealth?
But that's why you gotta start winning, bro. You gotta start
Small
winning.
wins.
But in
Listen,
every area, see,
small wins. Like, okay, y'all know I don't fool with these jokers at all. I really don't. I'm a Spartan to the day I die. But Michigan won the national championship, but you see they went to the first round, got beat. They went again, they got beat. Then they start beating Ohio State. Then it was like small wins all the way up until they won the big one, right? And they won. Shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? You can't take that from them. But it's so crazy because I look at winning, and do y'all know I'm in the Atlanta airport, and I see more Michigan hoodies, hats, and I'm like, bro,
That's all I saw.
Bro, people want to be around the winner, dog.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, and you thinking, oh, like, no nobody want to rock with you, no nobody, like, this is a product of small wins, momentum, and consistency. So to your point, Carl, I'm just thinking like, yo, you got 365 days. You don't have to be in that house next year this time,
That's it.
but you need to be closer to it than you were last year. But what happens is in our minds, delayed gratification is too hard for most of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, when me and Candace were coming up, her doing her thing and working at GE and me not making no bread and us working on the drink, a lot of people, you're not willing to do that. You're not willing to sit in there and have her coworkers look at you like you crazy because you traveling with your wife and you don't make no money. And what kind of job you got? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't like that feeling, so you jump the process to try to, does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like, bro, you have to trust the process and you have to start getting those wins and just know. Because so every year when me and Candace would look up, even though we wasn't necessarily on like that, it was a few more gigs than it was last year. It was a few more views than it was last year. It was a few, like, I tell people all the time, at no point in our career do I remember a colossal jump.
Nope.
Like, I wish I
Only
could tell
once.
y'all. What's
Only
that?
once.
What's that?
When Will Smith put the video up.
Yeah, but we was already on.
Okay, I got you.
You was already number one in the world.
Yeah.
You was
Okay.
already number one
But
in
I
the
mean,
world.
that's the first time I've ever seen
In numbers.
Yeah, I see in numbers.
Okay, I give you that. But I'm
Yeah.
saying, you was already one in the world.
Yeah, no question.
So this wasn't like it happened back when we was at Michigan State. So I'm saying, at no point, and I, again, being young, I remember I used to think, dog, as soon as Oprah see Bad As You Want to Breathe,
It's a wrap.
we out of here.
It's so dumb.
I keep telling people, at the time, Carl, we didn't even have a website.
Nope.
So
Nothing.
what was you going to do if you went on Oprah with no website, no nothing?
Yeah, you weren't ready.
We weren't even ready.
Yeah.
But in your mind, you sitting there, and all of y'all sitting there waiting on Oprah to be like, you get a car, and you waiting on your number to be called, and it's like, dog, if you would just start getting wins right now and start building momentum in your life right now, if you was to say, yo, by 2025 January, I'm going to have X amount in the bank. I'm going to have, so that's why you spending on stuff that you don't have no business spending on, because you don't really believe that it's going to happen. Because if you did, you would save that bread. You wouldn't go for the whatever you could get now to try to show people, oh, I got the latest and greatest right now. I was cool with my friends thinking I was broke. I was cool with my mom and them looking at me crazy. I was cool. Does that make sense? Like,
No
I was
question.
cool with that.
Yeah.
Because I knew what was happening.
Yeah.
I knew what was taking place under the soil. But a lot of y'all, you want people to see the fruits right this second, and so you're not willing to do the delayed
And
thing.
to me, that's what when I said more back.
So forward, I'm saying, you have to be cool with going forward, even when forward don't look like forward to everybody else.
And forward always is forward. But I said.
But if it don't look like that,
Right,
if my homies can't see forward, if you can't see the forward on my wrist and my shoe,
but that's why
in my
I said.
car,
That's why I said in church, identify your backwards, because that's backwards.
Yeah.
I said identify your backwards and stop going backwards.
Yep.
So identify, I care what people think. That's backwards. Bro, I'm telling you, anytime me and Didi together, we were at the airport and I was like, wow, she don't even know that I caught myself. But she said something in the airport about, so I don't remember, but we got to the airport early. And it was, this is what it was. I love her. So Didi was like, we're going to go to international because not as many people going to know you in international. So like, instead of going to A, B, C. And then there's a restaurant we went to that has paninis that she thought she liked. She wasn't 100% sure. It was like, we were there when we went to, wherever we went last, Italy. So when we went to Italy, we went to that restaurant. So she was like, let's go to Sky Club first, use the restroom, wash our hands, and then go eat. Or I said that. And she was like, no, let's go order and then just leave our stuff and just go over and wash our hands. And I was like, okay, bet.
That was in Atlanta?
It was in Atlanta.
Are you talking about that little top, this spot at the top?
Yeah. So when we just left this weekend, we had like an hour and a half wait. So I was like, we'll go there. So when she did it, I felt that part of me that's like, it's like we always got to do it the way you want to do it. I felt that. And I was like, that's backwards. Like, why? Like, you used to think like that back in the day. Like, why would you even have that thought? Like, it doesn't matter if you go there or there. It doesn't matter. And you're bothered by the fact that it's like, okay, you can't always have your way. And it's like, yeah, she can't always have her way. Mm-hmm. What difference does it make? Like, if she have her way or don't have her way, y'all about to go eat together. Y'all about to spend time together. Like, this was a phenomenal time. Like, y'all about to, where we going?
You about to tear it up over where you wash your hands at.
Right. You feel me?
Right.
But that is a part of my backwards of, but I want it my way. Mm. Like, I don't care if you get your way 90% of the time. Give it to me 10% of the time. Mm-hmm. But like, that's a sickness that I have. And it's like, no. If she want to do her way every time, who cares? As long as it's a win, meaning it's blissful. Because that's what you said was your goal. So if blissful is your goal, how you get to blissful, it doesn't irrelevant. Matter. Yeah. So I caught myself and was like, oh, okay, cool. We're going to go there. And we did it and went. And it was funny. When we passed it, it wasn't nobody in line. When we went back, it about 30 people in line with one person. And so a part of me was like, this is why I said we should do it first. Yeah. But that's backwards. Yep. I went in and told home.
You got to get a little something in, though. Just like, there ain't wasn't nobody over here early. You ain't got to like say you was wrong. You got to be like, dude, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Petty right there. That's petty.
That's crazy.
Looking in the rear view.
Did you see when we just walked by? That's crazy. Where are all these people? It must have been a flight that came in.
That's petty back.
Oh, my God.
I got to get one little back
step back.
Yeah, bro, don't even.
But you know what I did? When I walked in, I saw it.
Yeah.
And when I
Did
saw
she realize it, though?
Oh, Didi's a air traffic control, so definitely detail. So what I did though,
she said, "Shoot, we should have went with your."
She did go like.
What did she say? Why didn't you say nothing?
No. What she said was, "Man, I gotta use the bathroom." So I went. Excuse me, ma'am. I mean, sir. I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
He was in Atlanta, so
yeah. I said I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I see you by yourself, and there's nobody else here to support you. But I'm 360, and my wife needs to use the restroom. We're not coming in to eat. We're not coming to do nothing. My man was like, well, I don't know. I said, I'm going to say it one more time.
Come on. Now
I'm 360.
Huh.
I'm not here to eat. I'm not here to do nothing. But my wife needs to use the restroom. And so the lady that was right there was like, well, let me go and ask. And so she went, and when she was going to ask, the lady was like, girl, go use the restroom. So then when I hit the thing, I don't even know if I said I was 360. Then when they hit the hookup, they was like, Oh, you 360? Oh, yeah, you should have just. And I was like, I'm not necessarily on that, but I wanted her. So Didi was like, you know what I'm saying? Didi was like, Oh, you protect me. You know what I'm saying? I in front of everybody. I just was like, hold up. I'm not whatever.
How
I'll
long
stand
was
in
the
line.
line?
It was about 7 people in it.
Really?
And with only one dude. And whoever was up front, they was talking. I don't know what they was on, what they were talking
Bro,
about.
people up there trying to like reschedule their flights.
Right.
So I'm like,
boom.
just
And
give
so,
me, you know, a lot of them, the one in B, they got about
Yeah.
8 kiosks. You just hit it on your own.
yeah, that
go.
one, the one in International
No,
didn't
you gotta
have
go
it.
to the
You gotta go to the desk. So,
Hey, I was just thinking as y'all are talking, I'm taking y'all back. Car manufacturers was onto something so deep, right? So let's go through this process. The car is in what gear when you just get into the car?
yeah, park,
Park.
period.
What's the easiest gear to get to from there?
Drive.
Reverse.
Oh, neutral.
Reverse is
Reverse.
first.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
First.
It's
Yeah,
the
you're right.
easiest gear
Yeah,
to get
yeah,
to
you're
from
right.
park. So if you stuck,
Yeah.
the easiest thing
that's
to
good,
do is to
Carl.
Even in the stick,
right
to be
back.
honest with you, even in the stick,
Bruh.
it ain't no resistance.
I'm just saying, that's deep. Watch the process, though. Then from there, you go to what?
Neutral.
yeah,
That's not a bad place to be.
yeah.
And then you got to go to
What's
drive.
the safest if you don't know how to drive?
drive.
And you learn how to drive.
But you see,
But
I'm
once
saying,
you
look
learn
at
how
that
to drive,
order.
it's
See,
scary.
what's
Neutral is lukewarm.
Yeah.
Neutral is lukewarm. You
Yeah.
ain't forward, you ain't backward.
and
you
I
just there.
never knew why I needed to be in neutral.
At the car wash.
But see, watch this.
That's
What's
the only
the,
time you gotta go neutral.
Yeah.
what's the furthest one away from being stuck and stopped?
Drive.
And not just drive. The furthest away is that lowest gear.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Where you need to really
L1,
start and get
L2,
momentum.
Yeah.
I never used
But
those.
have you looked
No,
at it in
on
On
reverse?
accident once, a couple times.
The opposite of
If you look at it, right? If you look at it in the opposite,
you can start
What?
here.
You can, but I'm saying, but you can start if you hit drive.
Yep.
Then now you go into
You can go wherever you want to go.
neutral,
there.
Yeah.
reverse, park.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's
ahead.
something in that order, y'all. That ain't random. Like that literally is kind of how we do life. Like you starting at somewhere stuck. And for most of us, you got to
You
get
go
to that
reverse.
first get.
So much easier
It's
to go.
easy to
so
go to
much easier to
reverse.
talk about what you don't have. But we talked about it last podcast, Ma. It's not that it's easier because it don't take no more pressure to be. I actually worked harder to make 100,000 than I did making millions.
Yeah,
It's actually harder.
yeah. Millions make it itself. It's just
If you get to millions, they make themselves.
They make themselves.
Yeah, but the 100,000 is a lot.
Oh, you got to make it.
I put a lot of work in
Yeah.
to do that. I was on the road a lot, doing 5,000, 10,000.
Yeah.
a lot.
But don't y'all think that moving forward is maybe some people don't move forward because it's scary and it's lonely.
It's not
It's,
scary.
it's lonely.
it's
it
not-
ain't scary.
and
Now,
it
let's
ain't lonely.
put ourselves back. Put yourself back.
Yeah.
Now, you've been moving forward now for so long.
No.
So I'm trying to all.
I know Maul ain't talking about nobody.
Ma.
They had a
I'm
vision
saying I
board when
always-
it's 3.
Ma,
I was
always
actually 1.5. It wasn't three.
Yeah, a whole vision board talking
It
about
wasn't
I'm
three,
going
it
to
was
be
1.5.
a real
Right.
estate mogul one day. I'm going to have 3
it right.
kids, a cat.
But I'm
you
just
didn't know about that cat.
Yeah.
You know about
it's,
2
that
cats.
It's lonely, bruh. It's lonely when you're moving forward. A lot of people don't understand, bruh. Even on this level now, you might have a spouse and you got to move forward for
Okay,
your
that part I
spouse.
get.
Your spouse sometimes is like,
That part I get.
yeah, I'm
I
just saying.
wasn't never by myself ever when I was doing my thing like you with exercising. I always started with somebody. But when you say spouse, I definitely
Even with
understand that.
exercise, sometimes you can move forward in your health
Yeah.
physically, and your spouse ain't getting up to
Yeah.
work out with you
Yeah.
every single
Yeah.
day.
It's real.
What do you do when you reading, getting up in the morning,
Yeah.
reading several books every morning? Your spouse like, oh no, I'm chilling. That ain't. But your mind is growing. Your mind is moving forward. But your spouse is just like, hey, what do you do when you investing and the spouse is kind of like, oh,
I mean,
that's
how
your
many
thing.
times do we hear that? Dudes be coming up like, oh, my girl ain't. I said,
Sometimes-
wait, I done seen you at 7 conferences in a row and she ain't been here. So what you think? You are up here growing and y'all not equally yoked anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how can you be on the same accord? You can't do
So
it.
some people rather just say, you know what, man, I'm not gonna move forward because I can't bring, and some people don't go forward. They rather, like you said, it's just like most people are
Goodwill
not in the-
hunting.
Most
You know what
people
I'm
not in the back of the plane. Most people not in the front of the plane, Carl. Most is in the middle, just like the middle class.
Literally.
Literally, most people like to be in that middle ground where it's like, I ain't gonna go too far forward. I ain't gonna go too far back. I'm
yeah.
safe in the middle.
And I want to reiterate before we jump off, like, I think, and I said it, but I'm going to make sure y'all get it. You got to be okay with going forward when forward doesn't look like forward to everybody else.
Absolutely.
I promise you, I'm not playing. If you would have looked at us the first 5 years, I promise you, to the outside eye, it might not have been no different from year 1 to year 5.
Lunatics. That's
I'm
what
just
you
saying.
look like.
I'm just saying, Carl, what would you have outwardly noticed was working?
Nothing.
You ain't got no extra views.
Nothing.
You don't got no extra money. Like the gigs is probably about the same. We still going to churches and, doing our thing with the
Schools.
elementary schools. So somebody from the outside in might have been like, they either in neutral or going backward. They definitely don't look like they going forward. But we knew what was taking place. But like I said, I think a lot of people get frustrated in the forward when it doesn't look like forward to everybody else. So even though I start reading a couple books, can nobody see that?
Can't nobody see it, bro.
So my mind is growing. I'm expanding that.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Even though I'm laying the groundwork to be able to invest in an investment property in a year and taking a course, can't nobody see that? But if I buy a watch today, I can make you feel like with a $10,000 watch, I'm going forward.
Oh, you doing it. CJ doing it. Seen that? You seen that watch he got? He doing it. That boy got a Tesla.
And so you going forward.
Yep.
You go buy a car that you can't afford.
Yep.
You pulling up to the church house. You pulling up to your homie crib. They like, ooh, forward. So you're chasing what you think forward looks like to other people, as opposed to being like, you know what? I'm going to keep that ride. I'm going to get rid of that watch. I'm going to do this, and I'm really going to stack. And then I'm going to really go forward. But that takes discipline. It takes dedication. It takes patience. Listen, let me tell you what it really takes. You know what I tell my son all the time? I said, bro, I don't care. Trey got straight A's again. He just, doing his thing. I said, bro, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care about none of that. You know what I think is the most important quality of any entrepreneur, any businessman, anybody who I've seen have success in the United States? I said, bro, just be confident. It's confidence, bro. I'm telling you, I've seen multimillionaires who dumb as a box of rocks, but they got the confidence, bro. They got confidence out of this world. So I'm like, yo, I honestly believe that the reason that we were able to endure all of that time, bro, I had confidence. So even when I'm going up into Candace's little GE dinner parties and they like, what do you do?
Yep.
And I just be like, oh, nothing. Bro, I never lost confidence in myself. When you lose confidence is when you go, all right, cool, let me go get something to make it look like I'm doing something. Let me jump the process to make it, because now I'm not appearing to be successful. I knew what was taking place internally. I knew we were working towards something. I knew we had a bigger goal in mind. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of you, because you're not self-confident, what you do is you go do things and buy things and try to show off to make yourself feel confident.
Artificial confidence.
Artificial confidence.
I'm gonna say this.
Is that what I should have done, E? Because I ain't never bought nothing.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say this though.
Confidence.
Right.
Yeah,
You know
I'm
what
gonna say
saying?
this though.
You talked about it with Camille with the purses. It's like, yo,
Right.
you was like, hey, I got you
Yep.
later on.
Yep.
But right now, we about
When
to
we
get these
really got
properties.
it. When we really got it. I'm all
that's
in my
not
fake
sexy.
right now.
Be like, yo, we got a couple of investment properties. That wasn't even sexy when you got 2-3 investment properties where can't nobody see it.
Right.
And you taking your extra bread from the police force and and putting it in there. It's like, that's not sexy. I promise you, that will never be as sexy as a Ferrari. It will never. But if you lack confidence,
Yeah.
you go, let me just get the car.
And I want to explain the lack of confidence though, because some of you may not be getting a Ferrari or a watch, but because I've had both, which is lukewarm. I've had both at the same time. Like I've had the internal, like, yo, I know what God called me to do, I'm gonna do it. What I have lacked is being concerned about how they feel about how I feel about myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the part that needs to be removed. That's when you really a dog. You feel me? So now when I go to places, I realize, oh, I didn't even know what I was doing when I was younger. Like I never like realized what was going wrong, because I was going forward, going back. Like I was never going just backwards. Like I explained to Didi, because we were, of course, Oakwood or whatever. And Didi was like, yeah, the way people responded to you, whatever. And I was like, hold up, Didi, no. I never had a problem with being the center of attention. Like I never had that problem before. Like I've never been in a room and wasn't one of the people that, now I might not have been the number one, I might have been Scotty. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? In the spot. But like me and Jordan walk in, they know I'm they know I play for the Bulls. Like, ain't nobody going, he ain't on the squad. Like, I don't got the Jordan poster, but I got a poster. I don't got the J's, but I got the Jordan.
You got enough.
Yeah, you feel what I'm saying?
You got enough.
Yeah. So
This is Scotty.
Yeah, but my challenge was I was okay with being who I was. But I also was coming in the building and kind of a little like, I hope you are okay with who I am. I hope you're not offended by it. Or I hope you don't see me as, ruffling up I hope in the group that the group knows I'm here for the group. And then as I got, older and more mature, it was like, bump that. Like, I don't care if you understand why I have to do what I have to do to survive or not. Like, it doesn't have to make sense to you.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me. And then there are people who are blessed because it makes sense to me.
Yep.
Like, there are other people who are blessed because my life makes sense to me. Because you're going to talk me out of doing what I'm doing. You feel what I'm saying? And then I learned if I'm listening to people, I can only listen to people who understand the complexity of my life, and they're speaking to the complexity of my life, not to fear or to whatever. Give you an example. So I told Moose, I was like, yo, Moose, I feel like I need to move away from employment to contracting. Because when I look at my P&L, I see months where I went in a hole. And so I'm like, I'm not tripping on going in a hole, but I can't guarantee somebody money and I can't guarantee myself.
Right.
Like, I can't do that, right? That's not fiscally responsible. I've not been a good steward. So I'm making sure I give you yours, but then I have not made sure that I got nothing. So I was like, I got a whatever. So as I'm going through the process, my wife says, hey, what's the challenge? I said, here go the challenge. So she said, well, why don't we pray about it? And let's give God a moment. Because I know having MS what it would be like not to have insurance.
Wow.
You feel me? Yeah. So I'm like, oh, I'm cool. Hey, we won. So if you own that, but I'm saying what Didi was saying was, I'm not trying to stop you from actually, you've done this because this is what you want to do. And now you're not about to do it, but it's not that you don't want to do it. I know you want to do it, but there is a challenge that's making you rethink what you've done.
Yeah.
So maybe the best option is not to let the challenge change it. Maybe the best option is for us to go before God in an intense way and present to him the challenge and let him solve the challenge.
Yeah.
You feel me? And I'm like, okay, it might be a combination of both. I don't know. But based on her saying that, I went to God and was like, all right, we need to talk. Like, you need to show me. But that's different than somebody going, well, you got to make sure you eat. You got to make sure Didi got it, Jalen and Jada, you can't. That's different. And so I go back to any activity, and you're not stupid and you're not dumb. When you're in an environment, there's only two things that alter us: the environment and people. Nothing else exists. There's nothing else. The boogeyman, I don't know where the boogeyman is. I hear boogeyman talk, but I don't see the boogeyman. I see environments.
Facts.
I know people. Those are the only two things that can alter you. So I know in all of my heart when I go backwards, and when me and Didi was having that conversation, I knew that wasn't a backwards conversation. I knew it. And so what I'm telling you to do is, anytime you go backwards, is what I said on the live a couple weeks ago. Don't lie to yourself and go backwards. So when I said to somebody, your child is banging on the glass in the church, that don't got nothing to do with tired. That's not sleepy.
Hungry.
Maybe it's
Gotta be hungry.
Could be hungry.
Hangry.
I said, but what you're doing is you are, and you don't mean no harm, but you're making an excuse so you don't have to deal with the what's at hand. That's backwards. That is not going to, they just hit you. There is no logical reason that a child should talk to you like that. Under no circumstances. I have an adult child that I'm like, all right, Didi, somebody gonna have to say something because you in my house. And like, I don't care how grown you think you are. I'm telling you what you just said is disrespectful. So once I tell you it's disrespectful and you live in my house,
Yeah.
it's over. I don't care if we in your house.
All right.
I've been here since you were a child. What you will not do, I don't care how old you are, disrespect. I don't care what I said to you.
Right.
I don't care if I said something to you when you thought it was inappropriate.
Right.
You still don't have the right to disrespect me. And I tell you what disrespect is. So I don't care if you hungry. I don't care if you tired. I don't care if you sleepy. You 25, you 28. Y'all mine. There are certain ways you will not talk to me. Now, if there's a challenge that we have to, I don't like dad at you, whatever, let's talk about it. Yeah. But what I will not do is dismiss backwards because it's uncomfortable. It's okay, it's uncomfortable. That's cool. I feel you. It brings pain. It reminds you of something. It brings whatever. But if we don't address backwards, we gonna stay backwards. And here's what you need to do. Stop talking forwards. Stop saying you want to go forward because you don't. Because apparently you cool with backwards. So either hate backwards and love forwards or hate forward and love backwards.
Yeah.
But to do both is lukewarm.
Yeah, and when you do both, you going backwards. It's like that thing where you taking one step forward, two steps back.
Absolutely.
And so now
That's
when
what
you
said
actually
at church the other week.
actually when you think you're going forward, you're not really going forward. You're just covering ground that you done lost from going backwards.
I said you digging a hole.
Right.
Now you in this deep hole, and what you're doing is we're not perfect. I told him that. I get it. David did something terrible, but God still said he's the apple of my eye. He ain't never said Samson was the apple of his eye. He ain't never talked about Samson. I ain't never read nothing where he talked about Samson in the positive way, ever. I do know that Samson was gifted and that he gave him his anointing. I never heard him say, though, why? Because Samson went backwards. I didn't realize when I read it, the Joker did it
3 times.
3 times. I always thought on the 3rd time is when she got him. No, it was 3 times that she got him. Not 2, and he corrected on the 3rd. 3 times she got that Joker. And so what God said was, oh, I see what I'm about to do. What CJ said earlier.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. Still undefeated, bro.
No
Undefeated.
Undefeated.
I'm talking about since, you
Since
know
the beginning of
what
time.
else you got to do if you want to go forward? Organifi.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Superfood Green Juice Powder, keeping this podcast powered up throughout these years, man. 8 years in the game.
Yeah.
And Organifi
When they gonna send me my
with
shirt?
for a chunk of that. We got your stuff coming.
All
bro.
right.
As soon as my 360 status hit, your shirt.
I'm working.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm actually, I'm actually physically working on
hey,
it.
listen.
I don't know if he's physically working on my
You remember?
my shirt.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Yeah.
I got you. No, I'm working on it. Shout out to Organifi. Go to Organifi.com. Use the promo code SUCCESS. All right. Add something forward to your routine, man.
Come on.
Take the Organifi, drop it in your water bottle, shake it up, man. Go, man. It is all the greens you're going to need, bro. It's phenomenal. So shout out to them. And they got a variety of products. You go to Organifi.com. You can see all the stuff they got. Also, shout out to our Patreon fam.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
Y'all been rocking with us heavy.
Let's go.
Heavy.
Listen, man, we doing some new stuff. We adding some Q&As. We adding some Zooms for the Patron
30.
Patreon people. I say Patron.
Didn't you?
Maybe
Didn't
I'm
you?
trying to tell me something.
trying
I
to
wasn't
go
gonna correct you,
forward.
bro, but I heard that. I was like, that sounds like moving backwards or sideways.
Depending on where you
Sideways.
Depends on where
Depending
you
on
at.
where, depending on where,
Sideways.
if I'm in Mexico. So shout out to the Patreon fam. Go to patreon.com, S2S Podcast. Check us out there. We appreciate y'all support there, especially for these expensive flights that me and Mar got to get on to get up here. And hopefully now we're going to make our flight. Your flight get delayed?
No, it is not.
All right. So we need to go.
They were asking me if I want to switch because of possible delays. If I want to go,
Oh, no, they already
rebook
delayed
another
mine.
flight.
So
They did?
Yep. So I just text my wife like, Lord, please let me get up out of here today.
Show me a sign. Look.
Come on.
see, that's what y'all see. I'm actually platinum with American. And so they kind of give me my perks.
Which is like bronze. Which is triple copper.
Hey, look at what it says.
Hey, we love y'all. We out of here. We'll see you next week.
I want you to focus on here right now. Don't you worry about when you get home. You concentrate on this opportunity. You don't worry about tomorrow. You concentrate on this opportunity with all your might, with all your soul, with all your heart.
Thank you so much for rocking with us as always, right? We don't take it lightly, guys. And we hope that we've provided transformation and not just information. We want you to become the best version of yourself, right? Make sure you check out the show notes to access all the important links and get your product discounts. Now, one favor we're asking of you, do us this favor. Make sure you subscribe and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We want to know your feedback on how we can serve you better. And if there's anyone that you think could benefit from listening to this show, please, I'm begging you, please share it with them. And remember, as E always says, if you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful.